Hi friends, and welcome to the Shai Show. I hope you're having a great week. Jumping into this week's Parsha, Parshas Terumah, Hashem asks of all the Jews that they should donate half a shekel to the construction of the mishkan, the construction of the tabernacle in the desert, the portable sanctuary. So it seems to be that the message is that all Jews seem to be equal in the eyes of Hashem. Yet at the same time, we know that each individual has different levels of intelligence, different temperaments, different skill sets, and yet Hashem is saying you're all equal in front of me. So how can it be that a Jew clearly is just the individuality, yet there's some sort of equality? So an answer might be that in the general sense, in the level of being equal, that every Jew is on a mission in order to be able to enact the will of Hashem wherever they are. And the fact that it's wherever they are means that whatever specific situation that the person is in with their particular skill set and their particular talents must mean that there's a portion of this will that only they can enact in that given situation in their particular way that should come through them. So that level of being a conduit has necessarily their level of individuality. And we see that this is an understanding this will. Maybe we can understand a little better what it is this will that we're trying to enact by looking at this week's Parsha and the construction of the Mishkan. We know that the different actions and the Mishkan itself, the construction of the Mishkan itself, was a creation of a mini universe. And usually the way I've heard it before, it's analogous to a mini universe. But the way that I think that I understand it is it's not simply just an analogy, in the sense that it's literally plugged in the spiritual realm to whatever act of creation, whatever portion of the universe that it's reflecting. It's not merely just reflecting it in a physical sense, like on a map, even though that we might say that it's mapped to it, that this represents that sort of mapping. Yet this mapping is also relevant that when this portion of the Mishkan is being created, there's a certain spiritual reality that's being enhanced, connected to, and plugged into that original creation of that which it is mapped to.
Oh, cool! I like that.
So we see that one of the things I also want to take out from that is that we know that these are the very labors that are forbidden on Shabbos. On Shabbos, it's not simply that we're prohibited from work, it's that we're prohibited from these acts that reflect the various acts in the construction of the Mishkan tabernacle, and that these acts necessarily, as we've been saying, are acts of creation that we're prohibited from doing on the Shabbos. Yet, what a message to me is that the very acts that we do are actual, real creative acts. That we're taking part in a very active way for the ongoing role of creation. Therefore, the whole week I have an opportunity to create and continue in the process of the very creation of the universe. I thought it's so these acts to be creative. What are these creative acts, and what is this will? What is this original portion of creation that's implicit that I'm enacting? So to take one detail was I wanted to see what did all these acts of labor that were performed in the construction of the Mishkan, of the tabernacle, what did they all have in common? So one thing they all had in common was intent, meaning that the activity that was performed had an intended result. There was meaning. In other words, they were thinking about what they were doing when they were doing it. I find myself reminding myself throughout the day, instead of just doing things by rote and going through the same procedure day in and day out. I have to remind myself what I'm doing throughout the day in order to be in the here and now and have that awareness and that connection to what I'm doing. I have to remind myself. And at the same time, in order to discover and to know what it is that I'm trying to create, or what it is that Hashem wants me to create, and what is my role in my situation. Yes, I'm in my individual situation with my set of talents, but what is it that Hashem wants from me? So I think that really that each of us as an individual, that's where the individuality comes in, that it's necessary that we're going to have to investigate that for ourselves. Although I would like a tiny bit of maybe a spoiler alert, that it seems that whatever it is, it's necessarily going to involve learning about others and developing a relationship with others, developing a relationship with Hashem, and understanding what it is that Hashem wants from us. Meaning that in order to know what Hashem wants, that means I have to learn about it. But it seems as though if the will is ultimately to get to some purpose, and I need, in order to get to that purpose, I need to understand that will, then learning necessarily becomes part of that purpose. And I guess that the cliche is that we probably know is that it's the journey, not the destination. But I'm saying more than it's just that it's the journey, not the destination, in the sense that we need to enjoy the journey. Because for sure, the journey should be enjoyed, and I think we can enjoy it. What I'm saying is that the journey itself are these destinations of the fact that I'm learning what it is, the purpose is. That learning itself is a destination. That learning itself has the meaning and the purpose, and is part of this act of creation and enacting Hashem's will wherever I go by learning about Hashem. So this Shabbos, I hope we're able to take a few maybe even extra moments out, and also during the week, to understand and take a step back what it is that Hashem wants from us, to open up and to learn, and to pay attention and to be mindful and thoughtful, and to understand by learning, by investigating, by thinking. I know it's going to be a great Shabbos. Thank you so much for coming by and watching my YouTube video. Please remember to be mindful and enjoy your challah, and recognize, maybe think about the goodness that Hashem wants to bring us in every moment in our life, in every situation of our life, every potential, every in our life. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts about what that purpose is and how to investigate it, please leave it in the comments below. Please also, I think it's moved around, the subscribe button. It was up here, it's down here. I think if you're on the page or you're on the private page, I'm not exactly sure which page you're on, so whether it's above or below. And I look forward to seeing you next week, and it's going to be a great week.